welcome to my home. My name is Tiffany, and I'm the dyer and maker behind Latah Valley Fiber Co. Thank you for joining me today. I did a video vlog yesterday that encompassed all day. I was doing a dyeing experiment. If you want to see that, it's the previous episode. So this is episode 4, which means I've been doing vlogs for a month. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that long, but I guess it has been. So that also means that my shop opened up approximately a month ago, the 26th of January. So that's coming up, a month opened. Thank you to all of you who have supported me along this fiber journey. It's been fun. So I'm drinking a cup of coffee today. I've written a few notes to help keep me on track and to make sure that I answer all of the questions that have come across the last couple of weeks. So you can find my shop on Etsy at latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com. You can also contact me through email, lvfiberco@gmail.com. Now, I did have a couple questions that I wanted to answer. Number one was somebody asked about how did I come up with the name Latah Valley? And you know, when you're coming up with a shop name or a business name, it can be a little daunting. There's a lot of names out there. There's a lot of similar things. So if you're trying to stand out, you need a authentic name that nobody else really has. So one of the original names that I was looking at was Hudson Fiber Co. Well, there's Hudson Wool Company or Hudson Wool something. So and they're pretty popular. So I thought, okay. And Hudson is my son's name, so I thought it would be a good fit. So then looking through different sites and things like that to find out exactly, you know, what flows together, what works together. I live in Eastern Washington, and one of the towns south of the city that I live in is called Latah. And then if you go a little west, there is Latah Valley. And I actually drove through Latah Valley a lot during my growing up years, learning how to drive and then having a job in town. I would drive this route a lot, and it's very beautiful. It has a lot of willowy trees. It has a creek flowing through. It's very pretty. And so it seemed like a natural name. It had it had some sentiment to it, and it had a good ring. So that's why. And another question I had was, how do you say Latah? So it is Latah. Latah. There you go. I'm sure if you're from a different part of the country, you would say it differently. Latah or Latah, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Latah Valley. That's the name of my shop. Okay, another question I had was, am I carrying sport weight in my shop? And currently, I am not. I carry fingering weight, DK weight, and worsted weight. However, sport weight and lace weight and bulky, I would like to bring to the shop at some point soon. So stay tuned. I'll be announcing that soon. Okay, let's talk about shop update. I had 4 different colors come to the shop this week. Let's talk about them. Okay, this color is called Sandy Shores. It is my 100% organic merino 4-ply worsted. Now, the reason it's called Sandy Shores is that it reminded me a lot of the beach that my son and I spend our summers on at Priest Lake in Idaho. So, Sandy Shores. Now, what can you do with worsted weight yarn? You can knit sweaters, hats, scarves, shawls. It's a very plush yarn and very soft, actually. Soft and plush. So this is my worsted organic yarn in the Sandy Shore color. Okay, so that's the first one. The others are DK weight, and they come in 3 colors. The first one is Denali Fog, and naming yarn is also a bit challenging. So I was actually online this week or last week, just kind of looking at different places and kind of looking at the color of the place and deciding if, you know, my yarn fit that color. So this one I named after this is Denali National Park in Alaska, and the picture I saw had a lot of fog in it, and it was beautiful. So Denali Fog. This is 4-ply DK weight. It's a fine superwash. It's very soft, very plump, and it's a grayish blue, which I like. I actually think I would look good in it myself. So this is would be good for sweaters, vests, cardigans, hats, scarves, mittens. That would be really fun. Mittens, and you could use it for socks if you wanted a thicker sock. So that is Denali Fog. Named Willow Tundra. It is also fine superwash merino wool, 4-ply DK weight. And the name Willow Tundra is from Alaska. I was on there browsing. I was on there looking for names. And Alaska has a bird called the willow. It changes color by the season, and one of the colors that it changes to on its, I think it was its head, is this color. So this is kind of a reddish peachy color, and it again would be good for pretty much anything. Sweater, vest, cardigan, hat, the mittens, scarves. I think I already said scarves, but so that is the Willow Tundra. Coffee break. Okay, so those 3 are all new colors. This last one that I have to show you is a color that I've had in my shop before, but not in this weight. So this again is DK weight yarn. It's superwash merino wool, 4-ply, DK weight, 100 grams, 246 yards. This color is moss. And what I love about moss, it's easy to duplicate. So what I love about it is it has yellows, which you can kind of see here. There's a bit of yellow in it with the green, and you can also get a little bit of orange throughout the skein as well. So I call this color moss. It's one of my favorites. You can use it for, again, everything I listed before, which is the sweaters and vests and hats, and you can even use it on socks if you wanted a thicker sock. So that again is my DK moss. Okay, that's it for the shop update. Let's talk about what I'm wearing. This sweater is by Tin Can Knits, and it's called Flax. It's a very popular pattern, especially for first-time knitters. It was pretty easy. Now, I knit this sweater twice. The first time I knit it, I had multiple colors going on, and it was super long, almost like a tunic dress. So I ended up pulling it all the way out to the, I think where I split for sleeves is when I had added another color. So I pulled it all out to one color and then added in just this color. Now the yarn is from Knit Picks, and it's their Hawthorne base. I don't remember the color. This was my first sweater, so back then I was not writing anything down. I think they do still sell it. I should have checked. I think they do still sell it. I probably could have found the name of it, but anyway, that's what I'm wearing. It has a interesting panel along the arm, which is a garter stitch. So it has some detail there. Otherwise, it's just knit, and it's super comfortable. This is in fingering weight, so I can wear it most seasons, including summer, for those cooler nights. So I do like it for that matter. This is, I knit it, I think what happened was, it was so long the first time I knit it that the second time I cropped it. So it's pretty short, cropped. So I do wear a shirt underneath it to add some length to it and add a little bit of style. Cropped is in, but I don't necessarily like cropped on myself. But if I have a shirt underneath it to add some of that length, then I feel, oh, okay, this is kind of nice looking. So another thing about this yarn is that it is sock yarn. So it's got nylon, and I can't remember what the percentages are, maybe 80-20. I can't quite remember. But so it's very drapey. That's what I'm wearing. What I'm working on. Let's talk about what I'm working on. I currently am still working on my Christmas socks, and I have not made much progress with those because I had a customer that ordered a pair of socks and a hat. So my husband worked on the hat, I worked on the socks, and it took me a little bit longer to do. I got them done in a week, but it was a little bit more than 9 hours per sock. So I didn't have time to work on my personal knitting. And, you know, that's okay. I still got to knit a pair of socks. I don't have them with me. I've already sent them on to the customer. He loves them. I will put some pictures in here of the end result. So this week I do hope to pick up my Christmas socks, and next week they'll be done for sure. Okay, so what else I was working on was this hot water bottle cover. And as you can see, I finished it this morning during homeschool. So, but hey, it's done. This is a cotton yarn that I bought at Joann Fabrics. And cotton is nice because it has some soft qualities to it, and you can wash it in the washing machine. So I knit a rib here, and then this is garter stitch just down, and then I Kitchener stitched the bottom together. So it's very easy. You just pull it out of here if you need to wash this. So I'm excited to use this, and I might knit another one in wool. That could be fun, actually, because wool would probably retain the heat a little bit more. So that is something I might do. Okay. That's it for what I'm working on. I have a lot of projects I would like to work on. I want to knit another sweater or two. I've had my mind on a vest that I would like to knit. I have some super, it might be Aran weight or bulky weight yarn that I hand spun and then dyed with indigo. And I have enough that I could make a vest out of it, and that's kind of what I have been thinking about. However, indigo is interesting, and I'm not quite sure of what I did wrong, but it bleeds on my hands. So whenever I go to use the yarn, my hands turn blue. And I have tried several different things to set the dye in the yarn, and it doesn't work. So that's my dilemma with that. And that's kind of why I haven't cast on the vest. I like the idea of a vest because you can wear an undershirt that has long sleeves and still be warm on the core of your body. So, plus they're really in right now. They're everywhere. I see people all the time wearing different style of vests. So anyway, that's my knitting in the future that I hope to get to or figure out what to do soon. Okay, so let's move on to fiber and spinning. Now for Christmas, I received from my sweet mother-in-law fiber, and from my local yarn shop, Paradise Fiber. This is one of the things that she bought for me. It is merino and baby alpaca. So this is 8 ounces, which would be a good project size. I could get, I haven't decided how to spin this yet, whether fingering weight or DK. So we'll see. Now I did spin up, she had also gotten me a purple color. Let me get that. Okay. So she got me 2 blends. This one was purple, this one is gray. This is the same merino and baby alpaca. It's 4 ounces. It's super soft and luxurious. This is bulky weight yarn. I spun 3 singles and then twisted them together. for this super bulky yarn. This is a purple-ish color, which I do like. I love purple. And great hat, huh? This would be a lovely hat. So soft, so warm, so plush. So with this, I could get a little bit more if I spun it smaller, a smaller gauge. Oh yeah, see, this is very, I'm just gonna take it out of the bag. This is very soft. It's kind of a silvery gray. It's got a little bit of brownish, but very faint brown, a little bit of white. This could be fun for, I'm trying to remember what the percentage, I looked on their website what the percentage, I think it's mostly merino with a little bit of alpaca. Now the alpaca is very drapey, and so if I knit a sweater out of it and it was too, see, up my nose. If I was to knit a sweater out of this, it would drape pretty drastically. So I can either blend this with more merino, which I could do, and then I would get the softness, but less of the drape. So I might do that. So while I filled you in on what I was working on, I forgot to talk about what John's working on. John is working on a pair of DK weight socks. Now he has never knit socks before, but this is a fairly easy pattern. He's just doing vanilla socks. Now he cast on, I helped him with this, but I can't remember, 12 maybe? 12 stitches. So 24 total. And then he increased, and now he's on to the foot of his sock. So he will knit several more inches before doing the heel. Now this yarn I dyed in this cake. I took the hank, I wound it up into the cake. This is how you knit. It's from a ball, and they call it a cake. I don't know why. I should look that up. Why did they call this a cake? Doesn't look like cake. Anyway, I had done this as a dye experiment, kind of like yesterday's dye experiment, where you cake up the yarn and you place it in your pot like this. So the dye attaches to the outside of the fiber, the outside fiber, faster and leaches in to the inside fiber. Now, I did take my syringe and shoot some directly into the center of the ball because I wanted it to fade from dark to lighter to dark again. We'll see if that happens. This is what it currently looks like. It's actually very pretty. I like that technique. So, again, these are John's socks, and I may have him come on here at some point and talk about his socks and what he's working on. So, wouldn't that be fun? A dual podcast. That could be entertaining. Anyway, maybe when he starts his next sock. Although we'd have to do it on a different day because he works. Okay. That is it for today. But wait, I have a surprise reveal. Okay, and now on to the surprise reveal. Thanks for sticking around this long. So yesterday I dyed 2 different batches of DK weight yarn with a new technique. Then instead of doing my usual dip dye, I skeined it back up and dyed it in sections. Again, like I talked about, what happens when you put the skein in the dye is the dye goes to what's available and then slowly leaches in to the center of the yarn. Here is the sappanwood. Now sappanwood dyes purple, but you can shift it to gray or a blue-gray. But I wanted to try out the purple. The color that I got with this is dark purple, lavender. I think I had seen pink, but it did not stay pink. It turned into a light purple. So this is a very tonal yarn, and I could easily duplicate this color by doing it that way. Now the second one, I had a bit of I had a lot of trouble with it, mostly because I was trying to shift with iron, and that it was a little temperamental. So I wouldn't probably be able to duplicate exactly the same circumstances in the second yarn. Now, that's not to say that this didn't turn out lovely, because it sure did. Here it is. You can see that it has a lot of green variation, which is beautiful. It has dark green, light green. It's similar to my moss a little bit. However, this is lighter and has more of the yellow-orange tones throughout, whereas this just has green, the green tones throughout. So, there you have it. I'm super excited. This would be a great sweater, a great hat, a great vest. That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. It's great for sweaters, shawls, hats, vests. If you have any idea on names for these 2 yarns, put it in the comments below.